So when you go to construct something, you need to have a plan for what you're going to build. And if you do any woodworking, typically what you have is like a cut list. So you'll have, and I'm going to use the example of the bed that I spent all of last summer building for my daughter. I built her a loft bed. And this is a really rough plan here. Okay. And this is a side view. When we do any kind of like construction blueprint stuff, for objects, we do what's called a top, front, right side view. And I can't tell left from right, so this could be the right, this could be the left. I don't know, surprise me. But it's a top, front, side view. This is how this thing would look from the side. And there's a crossbar, there are two uprights. There's obviously something showing in those uprights. If we then flip that object out, rotate it, and look at the front end of it, it would look like this. And this is a really bad drawing. It's a terrible drawing, actually, but that's okay. And I didn't even match up my... The whole point of top, front, right side is you want to match up the tops and fronts and right sides. Cut. There we go. So as badly drawn as this is, you can see that this bar matches that, and this bar matches that, roughly. Oops, I forgot my cross beam for the bed. So this piece matches that piece, and these all match straight down the line. This is the side view. This is the front view. Well, what's the top view? The top view is if we flip that object the other direction, and then what we're looking at, and again, you want these to match up. Boy, this is badly drawn. Oh, that's okay. Okay. So again, my end ups, these pieces match those. These pieces match that. These slats aren't shown in any of the other drawings. Now, if we were being really precise and really engineering-y about this, we do what's called a hidden view, where there's something that's in the structure, but you can't see it in one view. And the way we would show those slats is with little dashed lines like that. Because they're there, we know they're there, and they're actually sitting on a lip that you also can't see because it's hidden in this view, but it would show up in this view as a lip, and these slats would show up in that view. And we'll deal more with that. Your initial plan for building your thing might be as simple as kind of like back of the napkin sketches that look like this. Okay, well, we're going to do that, and we're going to have some rubber bands here, and then it's going to go like that. Okay, hey, that'll work, right? Let's try it. That's your very first idea. That's the thing that you're sitting there drinking hot chocolate at Tim Hortons and sketching on napkins for one another. That should proceed then to something that looks like because this is an idea, it's not a plan. This is an idea. The plan is where you take this idea and you make it into top, front, right side. So, okay, we're going to make this 20 centimeters, and then this bar on the side, well, let's see, it'll be affixed. It'll go up like that, it'll come down like that. I'm going to bring it here. It'll be hidden behind there, And then I'll have another piece here, and it's hidden behind here, and then it's visible, and then it's actually hidden, but it goes into there. And then I'll have another piece that's hidden through here, and that'll be my actual firing mechanism. And I have measurements on all of these. I'm making these up, of course, 15 centimeters. And this is, I'm totally making these up, and they're not even to scale. This bar here is 23 centimeters. So I have all the measurements on it. That's my side view. If I have attachment points and other materials, like I have 2 pegs here and I'm putting rubber bands right there, then I'm going to designate that those are other materials on my plan. And in a real engineering plan, you actually code materials. There's a whole set. If you ever take an industrial drawing class, it's a fantastic exercise in learning a bunch of stuff that you will change your life with, but you might never formally use. In an industrial drawing class, all materials are coded, and there's a key generally. You know, so we might say, well, everything that's black is wood, everything that's red is latex, because rubber bands are latex. And we would code our materials in our drawing. So then how does the front view of this thing look? Well, it should match up. So maybe this is 15 centimeters. And I've got, now, you know, what does that look like from the front? Well, from the front, it looks kind of foreshortened. You can't really see how those go. You kind of have to visualize in 3 dimensions. And, oh, did I mention that there's a crossbar here, which I guess I would have to show with a little dashed line there, if it's attached there. And I've got my firing arm. And these don't have to be beautiful. As a matter of fact, they probably won't be. And that's okay. This is to get you to think in 3 dimensions like this. What would my top view look like? Well, again, I'm going to try to match that up to the dimensions in my other drawing. Crossbar, firing arm, attachment points, rubber bands, and you can kind of see how that translates into the 3 views of the object. That is a plan to construct. So that is a real blueprint style plan to construct something. Now, here's where the idea of as-builts come from. So this was something that started in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, when I was working in soil and water. They realized that a tech in a soil and water office would come up with a plan and do a beautiful top, front, right side engineering level blueprint for constructing a waterway, a manure lagoon, a whatever. And they would hand the plan off to the farmer, who would hand the plan off to a contractor, who would bring out the bulldozer and build that sucker. But maybe they run into a big rock. Maybe they run into a layer of bedrock. Maybe they run into some unanticipated obstacle, and they have to change the design a little bit as they're building it. So this is your plan to build, with top, front, right side. Of course, all dimensions would be marked in all drawings. When you get into construction, you realize, hey, you know what, that's not going to work. We need to move that top bar down. Oh, you know what, we need to make this piece shorter and that piece longer. So what you have built no longer matches this plan to build. you do a set of drawings showing what you actually built. That's an as-built drawing. And they started doing this with construction projects in Soil and Water World because they would run into situations where somebody said, oh yeah, I got a manure lagoon, you guys gave me the plan for it 10 years ago. And a tech comes out with the plan and goes, but this doesn't match what we planned. Oh yeah, well they found a big rock and then they had to move that and that shed was too close so we moved it. Okay. So then they required as-built drawings to be put on file so that if somebody was coming back and trying to look at the structure with a critical eye, they would actually have a blueprint level plan for what was done. That's what you're going to do, is you're going to do a plan to build and then you're going to do an as-built drawing. You know, this is the quick part. And you can include those preliminary sketches, those ideas that you're brainstorming, that you're tossing out, like, well, we could do this, we could do that, we could do a cup and a rubber band, oh, we could do a swing arm, oh, we could do a trebuchet, oh, let's do a ballista, I know, okay. I've got a bunch of airplane rubber bands, okay, that's fine. But then you do have to, before you start construction, you need to have an actual plan of what you're going to build. So, does that make sense? Does that help with the question about drawings? Did that thoroughly answer it? Okay. More thoroughly than you really wanted? Okay, perfect. Okay, so you know, if you have questions and you weren't here, ask me and we can walk through some more stuff. I did hit stop while we looked at a few pictures of the setup. The scuff-proof bottom is not as big a deal as it used to be, and the big thing is really the drawings. So, okay, that's it.